Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Dave TV here on DCRTV.com. Still just setting up my lighting here. Just changing things around a little bit. It's the 9th of July, 2013. Hi. Okay, so what's the big news today? Lots more rumors about Dan Snyder. Lots more rumors. I'm Paul Farry, and this is the news. Lots more rumors today that Dan Snyder is really thinking about getting out of the radio biz. You know, Dan Snyder owns the Redskins, and a bunch of years ago, he bought a bunch of radio stations in the Washington market and put his team on his own stations, okay? So, after, he used to own 738, got rid of that, whatever. But anyhow, he currently owns these signals, okay? This is what RZ 980, 570, 92.7, 94.3. Now, 980 is a pretty good AM signal. It's one of the better AM signals in the Washington market. It's like 50,000 watts during the day, 5,000 watts at night directional. So the nighttime signal of 980 doesn't cover all of the metro areas, particularly if you're in the far west and northern suburbs. But during the day, it's pretty good. 570 is a funny signal. It covers inside the Beltway pretty well, and it also covers the northwest. It covers like, Montgomery and Fairfax, northern, western, whatever. But a lot of the area doesn't cover. But anyhow, so Dan has his main 980 WRC, or 980 WRC. WRZ, they should have called it. WRZ. But no, it's WTEM 980. And then he also uses 92.7, which is down in Prince Frederick, Maryland, down toward the south, and 94.3 out in Warrenton in Northern Virginia. So 980 coupled with 92.7, 94.3. Then he runs an ESPN feed on 570, Sports 570 WSBZ. So these are the signals that Dan Snyder, if they're on the market. Apparently, a number of my sources tell me they are on the market. And the question is, who's going to want these signals? It is kind of a hodgepodge of signals, I don't know. For whatever reason, Dan Snyder ain't going to get what he paid for them. I forget what he paid. He paid a pretty penny for them, I don't know, a decade or so ago. He ain't going to get anywhere near that. And I'm trying to think who might want these signals. The best use of some of these signals, the best use, for example, of 94.3 out in Warrenton, which covers a good chunk of central northern Virginia, gets up into Fairfax County, covers Prince William and Loudoun pretty well, at least southern Loudoun, and then it gets you solid coverage in northern Virginia, your Fauquier, Fredericksburg area, that kind of thing, which would definitely complement 99.1 All News, the new CBS All Newser. That new CBS All Newser is up there in Anne Arundel County, and their signal to the southwest ain't so hot. And this would be a signal right smack in the southwest quadrant that would help them. So 94.3, I think, would be a really cool signal for CBS to get. But my friends are telling me, my advisors are saying, this is what CBS owns in D.C. Okay? They own 94.7, 95.5, 99.1 WNEW, 106.7, and 107.9 at 1580 AM. So they have 5 FMers. And apparently the FCC says 5 FMers is it. You can't go over 5 FMers. So they would have to get rid of one of these signals if they were to add 94.3 for a WNEW simulcast. Again, somebody keeps spanking me saying, Dave, it's not a relay, it's a simulcast. Okay, well, whatever. So, what's my solution? There's CBS Baltimore. This is what CBS Baltimore, they're separately owned, or separately run, same company. That's what they own in Baltimore. Okay, so they actually have 3 FMers and an AMer, and then that funny little dinky little station. I don't think that counts, 97.5, because that's just a low power thing. But these are their signals. They could put 2 more FMers in the mix there. So why don't we take 107.9 El Zal and move that over to CBS Baltimore, and then that would free up another signal for CBS Washington, and they could add 94.3 for WNEW. So then we basically would, let's see, he'd say get rid of that, make this 94.3, and then we would add 107.9. So then we would do this. Okay, so we'd have CBS Baltimore would be these signals, and still well under the 5 FM cap. Now, they do have a TV station in Baltimore, so I don't know, maybe that would affect things. But anyhow, and then you could do this for CBS DC, and then you could have WNEW on 99.1 and 94.3. I don't know, and then somebody could, Dave Labrosi up there could say, aha, I'm getting rid of Elzal, and I'm going to put HFS back on 107.9, and that would be cool, and we'd all love that. That's an Annapolis area signal. So anyhow, that would be so cool. No, I don't know. The other company I would think that would like some of Dan Snyder's signals. Okay, these are the 4 signals of Dan Snyder. Would be maybe Hubbard. Hubbard has WTOP on 103.5 and 107.7, and then they own a bunch of AMers, 1500 for Federal News Radio, 820 for the Gamut, and the 1050 when they lease out for a Mexican station. They could use some of these signals. I mean, they wouldn't be perfect, but I don't know, maybe they could put the Gamut on 980. Imagine 50,000 watts, the Gamut on 980. I don't know. They could do something with these signals. Maybe they could start okay, here's the deal. They could just buy Dan Snyder's station outright. They say, look, Dan Snyder, we're Hubbard. We will buy ESPN 980 out. We'll buy the whole flock of signals, including the format, including the Redskins. Now, they won't own the team, but they would own the broadcast rights to the team. We'll buy your whole cluster. Hubbard will buy your entire cluster. Red Zebra, well, they will get those stations. Hubbard will get those stations. And we'll take the Redskins broadcast rights for the next 10 years. And then they could keep running a sports talker on those signals and maybe even move the Redskins over to WTOP. Now, hey, are you listening, Hubbard? Are you listening, Joel Oxley? I think that might be a cool idea. How about that? Anyhow, if Dan Snyder does sell his radio station, maybe he'll go to Salem or somebody. They could probably run it. Where would be the Redskins' flagship? Well, JFK, they would be the most likely candidate, being the sole remaining sports talker in the market. TOP, as I said, maybe, as I said, TOP and Hubbard could buy Snyder's cluster out completely and finagle that, maybe even keep a rival sports talker to WJFK. They'd seem to be willing to, that might be a cool idea for that. WMAL, imagine, Redskins used to be on JFK. They could go back there, although I don't know if CBS would have the bucks for them, but, hey, and there's a lot of bad blood between CBS and Dan Snyder because of the rival sports talker, so I don't know if that's a possibility, but they would be the last remaining sports talker. MAL, with the FM signal now, they would be in a position to get the Redskins back. They used to carried the Redskins for centuries there, back in the 60s and 70s. How about Clear Channel's DC 101 carrying the Redskins, or even putting them on KYS, which has got a great signal, Radio 1 there on 93.9. So anyhow, it's all in flux. This is all just a bunch of mental masturbation, but it's some ideas about looking at what would happen if Dan Snyder sells the stations and who would buy and where would the Redskins go and all of that. So anyhow, we're just checking it out, baby. All right, folks, that's Dave TV for today. The 9th. The 9th of July, 2013. Oh, I talked to I talked to some sources over at Now, I won't tell you who I talked to. Or should I tell you? Or shouldn't I tell you? Apparently, over at JFK, Rocky Parrish kind of made the program director, Chris Kennard, angry. And that's kind of what I'm hearing. That's why Rocky is no longer at WJFK. Kevin and Rock show on the weekends, weekend mornings, I guess on Saturdays. Now it's just going to be Kevin. Kevin alone is going to be doing the Saturday morning show. Rocky is banned from the station. Can't call him. Can't go within 20 miles of Atlanta. Court order. Kevin and Rock will continue to do their show. They do a show for the NFL. What is it? Players Association there on the web and all that. So they're still together. They're still friends. But they won't be together anymore on JFK. Call it a budget cut. Call it, just a personnel decision, whatever. But Rocky, is gone from JFK, and at least for the moment, you never know. I like Kevin and Rob. I think their show was pretty good. I don't know. What do you know? All right, folks, that's Dave TV for the 9th of July. Don't forget, help support the website. Look at me. All I'm down to is wearing these ratty camo pants. Ratty camo pant cutoffs, you know? I need to get some professional pants. So help me buy some new pants. Send me some bucks. All right, folks. Thanks for watching. Adios, amigo.